Hi friends and subscribers, hope everyone's having a good day. So in this video I thought I would do an update on my heavy metal CD collection. Now I'm not including stuff like AC/DC or Led Zeppelin or Guns N' Roses or Deep Purple or anything like that. I'm saving those for a separate video, which will focus on my hard rock CDs. So yeah, on this one it's the metal. So let's get started. So we'll start with this pile. So I have some Iron Maiden. You know, I'm a big fan of Iron Maiden, but I don't have a lot of their stuff. But I've got Somewhere in Time. Great album, underrated I think. I like this one a lot. It's got Wasted Years, Heaven Can Wait. It's just some excellent songs on here. This is the 2-disc version, which it's got a bonus disc. So you got a load of B-sides on the second disc. So yeah, Somewhere in Time and Virtual 11, the second and final album with Blaze Bayley. I don't think it's that bad actually. Blaze Bayley really isn't that bad a singer. I mean, he's not Bruce Dickinson or he's not Paul Di'Anno, but I like him, and I do dig this album. You know, I like all of Iron Maiden stuff. And Final Frontier, I like it. And Book of Souls, of course, a double album. Bit bloated, but it's not. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It's a good album. Just a little bit too long for my liking. It could have done with being a tad shorter, but it's just a nitpick. And then Judas Priest. This is original album classics. I got this today actually. Ordered it from Amazon, and it came through the post today. So it's got Sin After Sin, British Steel, that's my favourite album, Turbo, Painkiller, and Angel of Retribution. So there's Sin After Sin. Let me just get them all out. You know, British Steel. I like these box sets because they do save a lot of shelf space. And they look like mini vinyl, don't they? They're like little vinyl replicas. Turbo. Quite an underrated album. Painkiller. Last album they did with Rob Halford until Angel of Retribution. Fantastic album. And Angel of Retribution. So yeah, this is of course Rob Halford's return to the band. Yeah, I need to listen to this one more. I've not listened to a lot of later Judas Priest stuff, but I've listened to a lot of the classic albums. I have Screaming for Vengeance. Great album. And I've got their newest album, Invincible Shield. I love this. I think this is excellent. I mean, for a band that's been going for 5 decades, this is excellent. I enjoyed this. It's like this is a special edition that has a book packaging, and you get 3 bonus tracks on there as well. It's the standard edition. I don't think comes with bonus tracks. So that's Judas Priest. And I've got a couple of Ozzy Osbourne. I've got Blizzard of Oz, his excellent debut album. And Diary of a Madman. I mean, I think this one is my favourite Ozzy Osbourne album. Although this one could be my favourite as well. I mean, there's so many. Bark at the Moon's also a great album. No More Tears, Ultimate Sin, No Rest for the Wicked. Yeah, I will get all of Ozzy's albums eventually. And I've got one album by Helloween. This is Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part 1. So there was a Part 2 to this. But yeah, this is a great album. Great 80s power metal. And then probably my favourite non-English speaking band, it's Rammstein. Great, just fantastic German industrial metal. So yeah, and I don't speak a lot of German, or so yeah, you'll have to forgive me if I don't pronounce these titles correctly. But this is Herzlied or Herzlied, however you pronounce it. Debut album. And oh, it's not focusing, hold on. Yeah, it won't focus. But yeah, this one is Sehnsucht, I think you pronounce it. But yeah, it's their sophomore album, Mutter. Great album. And my favourite, Reiser Reiser. I know most people would choose Mutter as their favourite, but for me, I think Reiser Reiser is the one for me. And I love that cover as well. It looks a bit like, it kind of reminds me of Van Halen's Diver Down. And then Rosenrot. Another excellent album. And this is a live album, Volkerball, which I believe is the German word for volleyball. I could be wrong, but I think that's correct. And then we've got Liebe ist für alle da, which means love is for everyone. So yeah, I do know what some of these titles translate as. So yeah, I'm only missing the last two Rammstein studio albums. I'm missing the self-titled album from 2019 and their most recent album, Zeet, I think is how you pronounce it. So yeah, that was their 2022 album. I'm missing that one as well. And then on to Metallica. So I have all the Metallica studio albums. So here's Kill 'Em All, fantastic debut album. Yeah, if you wanna look at the track listing, just pause the video. Ride the Lightning. Master of Puppets. Justice for All. The more I listen to this album, it gets better and better every time. You know, I know some people criticise the production because the album has no bass on it. The bass was muted from the mix. But I don't mind. I love the album. It's probably my second favourite Metallica album, and this one is my favourite, the Black Album. I know it's a bit of a cliche to favour the Black Album, but you know, the fact is this was my introduction to Metallica, so I've always had a soft spot for this album. Some could argue that a lot of the tracks on here are overplayed, like Enter Sandman, Nothing Else Matters, Unforgiven, Sad But True. But I'm not one of those people that usually criticises songs for being overplayed, because the thing is, I never listen to the radio. You know, I mean, when I'm at work, they sometimes have the radio on when I'm at work. But it's never but they never have the rock stations on. It's always Heart Radio, which is where they play all the shit, the garbage. But yeah, I mean, I don't care how overplayed the songs on this album are. They are all great songs. This is fantastic. You know, I don't care if they were quote unquote selling out. I love the Black Album. I've got Load and Reload. You know, these albums do get a lot of shit from fans, especially when they first came out. I mean, they cut their hair, they toned down their music a bit. They moved away from thrash, but yeah, they're not bad. I like these albums. I like both of them. I like Reload a tad better than Load, but I like both of these albums. I mean, yeah, they're not Master of Puppets, it's not Justice for All, it's not the Black Album, but they're good metal albums. You know, they're enjoyable albums. What can I say? You know, sue me. And I've got Garage Inc. Covers album. I even like this as well. First disc, of course, is all newly recorded songs for this release, and then the second disc is B-sides from the 80s, and I think it's all of their B-sides up to that point. The B-sides that didn't appear on the studio albums. And you also got the 598 EP Garage Days Revisited on here as well in its entirety. So if you think about it, this is like Metallica's version of the Beatles Past Masters compilation. So yeah, and you get a lot of Diamond Head covers on here. There's Motorhead covers. There's Queen cover, Stone Cold Crazy. So yeah, this is a great CD. I've got S&M live album. I very rarely listen to this because I know I've probably mentioned it before on this channel, but I've never been huge on live albums. Not to say that I don't like them. You know, it doesn't mean to say I will never buy any live albums or never listen to them. I mean, I do. I'm just not a completist when it comes to live albums. I'm a completist when it comes to studio albums, but live albums, you know, I can take or leave. Even though, yeah, there are some live albums that are absolutely essential, that are must-haves. So yeah, I can see their appeal. But, you know, I like studio albums, personally. And then the controversial Saint Anger. Again, I love this album. You know, I love it because of how raw it sounds. Personally, I don't care what anyone says about it. I love it. And we've got the Some Kind of Monster EP. So it has the version of Some Kind of Monster from Saint Anger. And you've got a load of live tracks on here. And you've also got an edited version of Some Kind of Monster. I think it's the single edit. Yeah, I mean, not essential, but still nice to have. And then Death Magnetic, their brilliant comeback album. Ooh. Don't want to be doing that. And then Beyond Magnetic. This was an EP which basically has leftover songs from the Death Magnetic sessions. And Hardwired Self-Destruct, a great double album. This is an album that's grown on me quite a lot. I mean, I've never disliked this album, but the more I've listened to it, it's grown on me a lot. I like this album. Really good. And of course, 72 Seasons. Oh, damn it. Don't want to be dropping it. Yeah, another great album. You know, I like all Metallica stuff. You know, I know some people aren't keen on the new Metallica stuff, but I love everything by Metallica. You know, they are one of my favourite bands of all time. And unfortunately, I've only got one album by Megadeth. I've got Rust in Peace, the classic. And yes, I have heard the new Megadeth album. And yes, I like it. I mean, I don't think it's as good as Rust in Peace or Peace Sells or any of those classic albums, but is it a good album? Yeah, and I think it's a strong album for them to go out on, because it does say that it is their final studio album. But we will have to see, because I believe that 5-10 years from now they'll be back. I mean, lots of bands have said that this is our final album, this is our final tour, we're retiring, you'll never see us again, blah blah blah. But a lot of them, 5-10 years later, they come back. I mean, I can name a few bands. You know, the Rolling Stones have done it. Guns N' Roses did it, I think. You know, they've had a lot of. You know, they've had a lot of breaks. But yeah, I will get some more Megadeth. And here, this is Dio, 5 classic albums. So, of course, we have Holy Diver, Last in Line, Sacred Heart, Dream Evil, and Lock Up the Wolves. So, yeah, I love Dio. Holy Diver, this is my favourite. But all of these albums are great. I mean, there isn't a bad Dio album. Last in Line. I mean, look at that cover. I mean, all heavy metal bands, they all had great album covers, didn't they? Yeah. I will get all of Dio's albums. I mean, this box set has the first 5 albums. I know there was 10 studio albums. So I basically just need to look for the other 5, and then I've got everything. Dream Evil. Another awesome album cover. I think that's because of my love for horror movies. You know, I always feel that there's always been some kind of connection between horror movies and heavy metal music. Lock Up the Wolves. And yes, of course, not forgetting legendary Black Sabbath. So here's the first Black Sabbath album. Yeah, this is the remaster because it has Wicked World on it. The original release doesn't have Wicked World because it wasn't on the original album. It was just it was a B-side. I think it was the B-side of Evil Woman. But yeah, Wicked World, even though it's a bonus track, I do like to consider it as part of the album. And look at that cover. I love that album cover. And Paranoid. I don't know about you lot, but I've always liked this album cover. Really, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, yeah, I know it's a great album. You know, it's an album that's sold really, really well. It's an iconic album. I think all metal fans love this album. But a lot of people are very, like to shit on the cover. But I don't think the cover is that bad. I've seen worse album covers than this. Then Master of Reality. Yeah, this is a 2-disc deluxe edition. Yeah, this is another album that really, the more I've listened to it, the more it's grown on me. I just love it. But then again, I've ranked all of the Ozzy era Black Sabbath albums, so if you want to know more of my opinions on these albums, just go watch that video. But all I will say is, I love all these albums. Volume 4. I love that picture of Ozzy there. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Sabotage. And then the underrated Technical Ecstasy. Another really underrated album, Never Say Die. So I have all the Ozzy era Sabbath albums. I've only got one of the Dio ones though, which is Heaven and Hell. Another album that all metal fans should own. So yeah, I need to get the other two, Mob Rules and Dehumanizer, and I will get all the Tony Martin ones as well, because I don't have any of the Tony Martin albums. And I have 13 as well, which was their last studio album, and Ozzy, of course, returns to the band for this album. So that's Black Sabbath. And I've only got one by Pantera, Cowboys from Hell. Great album. And yeah, I want to get more Pantera. I want to get Vulgar Display of Power and Far Beyond Driven. And then, last but not least, I've got a couple of albums by Motorhead. So I've got Ace of Spades, the one that everybody should have. And I've got Bastards. Can't say I've actually played this one yet. And this one's called Aces Up My Sleeve. This is just a greatest hits compilation. But I do plan to get all of Motorhead's albums eventually, because I just love them. But yeah, but this is good if you're just a casual fan who just wants the best of the best. Then I suppose this is to get. It's got all the classics on it: Ace of Spades, Bomber, Iron Fist, Overkill. But if you're a big fan like me, this is not going to be enough. You're going to want, all them deep cuts. But anyway, that's my heavy metal CD collection. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up if you wish to. My next video will be my hard rock CDs. So stay tuned for that. Until then, have a good evening and bye-bye.